The Morbol in Final Fantasy XVI is the first mainline boss that you'll encounter within the game, and it's a familiar face that many might not be too happy to see or smell again. While you'll most certainly find yourself in more challenging battles within Final Fantasy XVI, a lot of people might still struggle with this early barrier. You might still be getting to grips with the game's fast-paced new combat system, or even find the stench of foul breath so overwhelming that you can't make it past. Either way, thankfully, Morbol isn't too complex to master once you understand its moveset, as it's relatively slow and therefore quite easy to avoid. It does have a fair amount of health, especially as you don't have too many tools at this point in the game, but chipping away and staying alert for its move tells will get the job done with relative ease. If you sat watching this video and you don't know who Morbol is, well, Morbol can be found in the Lost in a Fog mission all the way in Stillwind. It's one of the first quests that you'll undertake as Clive, and is kind of an unavoidable event within the game. Like most bosses, this of course has 3 phases, and let's talk about the first phase. Its 2 main physical attacks are telegraphed by lifting its tentacles up into the side, and it will just swipe around a second after the tell starts. All you need to do here is dodge with R1 just before the attack hits to get a precision dodge bonus, or simply just back up with enough room for the swipe to miss. It also has an attack where it'll stick its tentacles into the ground, and around a second later, they'll sprout up from the water immediately underneath you. The best way to deal with this is to back up, as the timing is a lot more unpredictable in terms of dodging. Its main named attack within the first phase is the classic bad breath attack that you might remember from past Final Fantasy games. While it's nowhere near as dangerous and fatal as its former existence, it can still do a fair amount of damage that you will want to avoid. It has a lengthy and obvious tell where Morbol breathes in, and the attack is signalled by its name appearing above the boss. Move around the side and to the back of the boss to avoid this attack, and this way you'll just be able to continue attacking as well. By this point you should also be able to have staggered the boss, which will render it inactive for a short while. Use the Rising Flames attack with R2 plus square if you have it on cooldown, and then just hit away as much as you can to deal plenty of damage. After the first stagger period, the Morbol will lift its head slightly and then tunnel into the water. It's at this point you'll want to make sure that you're well out of the way once it lifts its head up, as the impact can do a pretty fair amount of damage before it disappears. It'll then pop out the water in a random spot and start to suck in the area. This will involve a few cinematic strikes, so make sure to hit the correct button once it appears on the screen. Thankfully, once it's out of that cinematic strike phase, it will stagger once more, so make sure you can hit it as hard as you can straight afterwards. Once it's back, the boss will lift its head up and breathe in for around 2 seconds, prepping for an AoE attack. For this attack, you'll want to get back as far as possible, as you won't be able to dodge any of the incoming damage. Some of the standard physical attacks from now on will become double hit instead of single hit, so just make sure you stay on your toes as well, just in case that second swing comes barreling towards you. The Morbol will now also start spitting out black goo, which slows you down if you step inside it, and it's pretty horrible. So if I were you, I'd just try and avoid that at all costs, as it will leave you pretty vulnerable otherwise, and obviously covered in horrible black goo. After your next evasion, the boss will dive into the ground and recommence the cinematic strike sequence. Once again, just like before, make sure you hit the correct buttons to evade and attack the boss, and once you've done this, the fight should then continue. The only difference about this third phase is that there's a new attack called Wild Rage. This is arguably Morbol's most dangerous move, as it launches itself towards you for around 5 seconds, progressively attacking the entire time. This is not really an attack that you can dodge, as the sheer number of attack windows will have you hit at any one point during the animation. Therefore, it's kind of best to just steer clear and stay out of danger, especially as the boss becomes staggered for a short while post-attack, regardless of whether you touch it or not. Morbol does have the chance to do Wild Rage more than once for the rest of the fight, so make sure to follow the steps to avoid it if he does keep doing it. All you need to do now is continue attacking the boss until its HP is depleted, which should be fairly easy now that you know the complete moveset. After you've taken down the rather stinky and disgusting Morbol, you'll get the following rewards: 50 experience and 70 ability points. You unfortunately won't be entitled to any crafting materials, nor will your coin purse be filled at all by besting this classic foe. However, the rewards are still more than welcome, as they will make Clive stronger and allow you to invest in all your favourite abilities. Make sure to drop us a like and subscribe, and comment down below how you dealt with Morbol, and make sure to stick right here on GG Recon for the latest Final Fantasy XVI guides and updates.